To enable multiband compression, you just switch on a second and third band via the band number buttons. As you can see, each of the three bands has an identical control set. The B and S buttons let you bypass and solo individual bands, respectively. When you solo a band, you hear only that frequency range to help you determine what part of the signal is being affected in that band, so you can set the crossovers appropriately up in the display. Bypassing a band stops compression from occurring in that band, but you'll still hear the audio in that band, and the other bands will continue to be compressed. Sometimes only a more restricted range of frequencies really needs compression, and this is a way to achieve that, sort of like what we saw with dynamic EQ. You remember that the slider at the top in the signal chain area lets you blend dry and process signals for overall parallel compression in that module. Well, you can set up parallel compression on a per band basis as well, with the individual sliders in each band for even greater flexibility. Also on a per band basis, just as with the individual EQ bands, you can substitute another sidechain signal for the normal one, the input signal itself. This can be a signal from another band in the same compressor module, or from another effect in the session. Finally, in addition to the makeup gain sliders for each band, you have a global makeup gain control up top for convenience when working in multiband mode. Between the vintage and regular modes, and single band and multiband operation, not to mention its full set of controls, Neutron's compressor has all the bases covered. You can use it for more surgical tasks, like taming errant, peaky notes in a bass part. To more general applications, like controlling a dynamic vocal performance,
your seductive promises are always so enticing. Out of sight, out of mind, fall for it every time. Your seductive promises are always so enticing. Out of sight, out of mind, fall for it every time.
To more creative uses, like adding some girth to drums. And since there are always two of them available, you can divide up the work. For example, a vintage mode compressor might be used to fatten up a bass, while a second compressor in regular mode with a higher threshold and ratio might be employed to just control some transient peaks. Or you could simply apply a couple of subtle compressors back to back. This is also a popular approach for achieving greater amounts of compression while avoiding the usual artifacts of strong compression. One last thing. Once again, as in the EQ module, the learn and reset buttons are an automatic intelligence feature, and I'll cover all of those together later on in the course. Next up, still in the realm of dynamic processing, I'll move on to Neutron's transient shaper.